Here's a question. Do you believe in ghosts? Have you ever had a close encounter with a Bigfoot, wolf man, dog man, maybe a close encounter with an alien, a little green alien, or maybe even the predator type alien? How about somebody with superhuman powers? Have you ever met anybody who can read palms, tell you your future? These are all superhuman abilities. And maybe you don't believe in any of that stuff, but maybe that's because it's never happened to you. I'm glad you're here, and I'll tell you why. This is Talk About Strange, a non-judgmental platform where people get to send in these incredible stories of things that have happened in their personal lives to share with you. And I welcome you to join me as I share these incredible stories. And if you enjoy these stories, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification so you don't miss out on the next incredible story that we have coming. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, my friends, the time has come. I finally get to share with you something I experienced about 2.5 months ago. It was something that was in the process of being planned for a very long time, actually even before we moved. And I'm really happy and excited to finally be able to share this with you. Here might be a clue. Wendy, Clair, thank you so very much for finally meeting with me. It was just an honor. It was remarkable. I had a phenomenal time. You guys are brilliant. I don't know how you do what you do. You're brilliant, you're strong, you got courage. It's just absolutely remarkable. I wish you guys the best of luck. I hope you get the chance to see this and you enjoy it from where you're at, wherever you're at now. And I finally get to share this story with the rest of everybody else. And thank you so much for allowing that. I really appreciate it. I know everybody's been really excited to get some details. And so here we go. Back to you guys. Okay, so remarkably enough, the time has finally came. It finally came. And after a lot of planning, very careful, rigorous planning, I was finally able to meet up with Wendy, Clair, and 2 members of the team. This took a lot of planning. This went on for a long time. As you guys probably already know, I'm not personally in contact with Wendy. I have no way to contact them. They contact me. They watch the videos. They contact me. All ties are cut. They're very discreet and anonymous and cautious for probably good reasons. And I'll get into that. So since I told you before we moved that we wanted to, I didn't know if it was actually going to happen. They had shut down what they were doing there and in their home, and they left to come to travel around. So first big announcement that they gave me was that they actually spent a lot of time. I mean, they went everywhere. They've been everywhere. Montana, Washington, I'll get to that. The Carolinas, Maine, back and forth. They've been all over the place, no particular order. Well, I'm sure they had an order, but they were very cautious. But they did spend, and this is a story that I want to get to and share with you guys that's quite wild. They spent a lot of time, I think they said, Vancouver, Canada, in the forest area of Vancouver, Canada. They wouldn't tell me exactly where, mountainy area, woodsy area. But they did tell me that they spent some time in Vancouver, Canada. They had a guide. They had some really good data and information on where to go. So leads to follow. So they ended up going very deep in, I guess, probably a week and somewhere around there. And they come up on an opening. This is where it gets interesting. So this was something not even they expected to happen. They get in there and they're in this opening, and all of a sudden Claire had this just gut feeling that they needed to go, that they were heading in the wrong direction. They were unwanted. At the exact same time, they heard this wild, screaming, screeching noise. Turned out to be a wild boar, right? All of a sudden, they're starting to back up already. She's very clear. She's scared. They want to go. So they're backing out. When all of a sudden this massive Klansman bursts through the woods from the hedgerow carrying a 300 to 400 pound wild boar. Looks straight at them. He must have knew Claire must have knew what was going on there, who she was or what she was about, but he did not want them there. If you get faint of heart, you might not want to hear this, and this might be a part you want to skip. But here it goes in 3, 2, 1. He ripped this thing clean in half right in front of them and then threw it on the ground. Claire said, we need to go now. We are not wanted. This is our only warning. So they started backing up. They were in true fear for their lives. There's dangerous places there in Canada. Very dangerous. She made that very clear that they never want to go back. And we all know somebody else who's, we don't mention names to get guests back and forth. I wouldn't mind saying his name, but I don't know if I should or not. But I know that knows that area. He's a hunting guide. We'll leave that to him. He's a highly trained professional. I don't ever want to go in those forests. Not after hearing that. Neither do they, which is very surprising to me. So that was their last visit in that area. They got out of there. They weren't wanted there. Very scary. It was very close, and it could have turned extremely bad for them. And here's why. Okay, so we met up, and I had to go through a process before we could even meet up. And we went to check out Dutch Street is this area I wanted to see. We went a couple places, but that's the one place I'm going to mention that we did go to. And it's a grueling thing that you have to go through. So they're out there. They're doing this all the time. No deodorant, no perfume, no soaps. Their clothes are treated specially. There's no scent to them other than outdoor scents. The scents are pungent to these guys and girls. They're pungent. They can hear your watch ticking from 300 yards or whatever away. Just to watch the sound of your watch, even probably an electric watch. I don't know, but they can hear your watch. They can smell electronics. They can hear electronics, any electronics. So the only thing they have with them, and everything is, like I said, treated, is they have certain camping equipment. Their backpacks are special backpacks. Everything that's in it is treated and protected in a very special, specific way. They do have a satellite phone that is kept inside of a titanium case, soundproof case, wrapped in different cloths and resins and stuff or whatever to block any smell, sound, anything from that. That's the only thing. The battery's not even in it. They can't put the battery in it. So if they got in an emergency situation, like an attack, they would not have enough time to get that out, put a battery in, get a signal, make a call for an emergency. They would be in a lot of trouble. So this was a terrifying situation. They got out. Fortunately, everybody was okay, but we will leave Vancouver to the specialists. No, thank you. Anyway, so from there, they came back over to the U.S. Before they went to Washington, they come through, like I said, the Carolinas, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee. I don't know exactly where else they went from there, but there was a lot of, like, I think they did go out to like Montana and some different areas. They traveled and investigated. Now, this is how one of the ways they do this. Before they connect with anybody or do anything, they actually have a vehicle. They leave that vehicle. They rent a vehicle. They travel. They rent another vehicle. They travel. They meet up, and they have protocols that they use for everything. It's not really for the government anymore. So Wendy told me that they're actually a lot safer than what we thought. We were very worried about the government searching for them, taking Claire, trying to take DNA. The DNA she had is gone. They destroyed it. Okay. The DNA for them, as far as they're concerned, they've gotten to a point of their life and understanding that for them, DNA doesn't mean anything anymore. They're not trying to prove anything. That part of that for them is done. They have nothing against people that are still out there investigating and proving, trying to prove things, because they've been doing that for hundreds of years. It's never going to go away. That's not going to change. They're likely not going to find anything more than they found so far. As for the government goes, she has been in contact with a government official. I can't specify anything, nor did she really specify anything to me, other than the fact that she's been in contact with a government official. And I thought my battery was dying. I get that a lot. They have no interest in her. They have. He actually literally told her it's almost laughable how people have been so scared about them coming after them. Now, I'm not saying there's not groups searching for people. So there's dangers. But as far as the government's concerned, they have everything that they want. We haven't found anything that they don't already have. DNA, proof, whatever else. They don't need it. They know about hybrids. They were trying to hide something from the government. The government's got it. So he said, she's perfectly safe. Now, with that, like I said, they still take precautions. They're not just exposing themselves to the government or anybody else. So, but they're a lot more subtle with the idea that they're really not being sought after. The DNA is such a close match to humans. She's saying that it's probably why they're not really finding it, because it's right under their nose. It's so obvious it's right under their nose. And so, I don't know, do with that what you will. The primate, the Neanderthal, the human. I mean, the DNA is so closely matched that it's probably right under their nose for the most part. Anyway, but that doesn't matter to them anymore. Okay, so anyway, for me, I get a message, and it's a written message in my mailbox, by the way. So, to my surprise, I'd been kind of looking, but I wasn't sure if I was going to find it or not. Anyway, so this message basically tells me what I have to do to prepare before they're going to come here. No specific time, date, or anything. I just have to be prepared. So here I am building a house, and now I have to go a week without soap, without shampoo, without deodorant. So it was getting a bit rough. And even my clothes had to be washed, hung out, washed, no detergents, washed, hung out. They couldn't come in contact with any other clothes. And so we didn't meet here. We had to meet at an unspecified location. And we got to finally have a good conversation, good long conversation. I finally got to ask her the one question I've always wanted to ask. Wendy, why me? Why? Why did you choose me? And so anyway, it's pretty simple, really. She just said that she felt I was trustworthy, and she's seen that I'm not out here trying to buy into this whole thing or become rich off from this whole thing. I'm not trying to sell the whole thing. I'm just sharing the truth, and I'm sharing things that people share with me. And my platform's not so massive that it would cause a big uproar, where she could kind of just discreetly move some stuff in and share with the public. And as she was kind of growing and learning at the same time with a lot of this stuff, and little by little discovered what she could and couldn't share with us. So it was a process. Anyway, I really appreciated that. And I really appreciate them trusting me like that, trusting you guys. So I'm just so glad I've been able to share this information with you guys, and we just do with it what we will. But anyway, moving on from that. So obviously we had to go up Dutch Street. Now you guys just seen that video where there was something behind the tree. I might have been, it's kind of, I had to make the video what it was, but the truth of the matter is we went there. So, all right, now that path that we took, that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to go there. That path that we took, so there's another path that goes down off along the swampy area, the marsh. It goes way back. So that's where Claire wanted to go. So we followed that path all the way back until we come back up onto an opening. Then there was woods, just very thick woods. We got there. Claire was able to work her way in. She had good vibes. She felt the presence of two Klansmen, or a Klansman and a Klanswoman. She felt like there might have been more, but that's the ones that she engaged with. Wendy and I and the team were not allowed to go back there in the beginning. After a while, Wendy was able to go back there. She was the only one. We weren't allowed, unfortunately, because I really wanted to. Now, mind you, again, no phone, no cameras, no flashlights, no nothing. I mean, no watches, nothing. Treated clothes, nothing else. We go back there. She goes back, meets up with them, has a conversation. They didn't really want her there. They allowed her there. They absolutely did not want us there. They Really didn't want Wendy there. She's a little bit nervous about going back there, but they allowed her back there to kind of meet with them, talk a little bit, get a feel for what they are, who they are, how long they've been there. So we've talked about this before, and other people have mentioned this. They move along a migration trail. They're not there now. They're not there very long when they are there, and they do not like other people being there if they get too close. Okay, so they follow migration trail. This migration trail goes on for miles, miles. I'm God by thousands of miles. Who knows? And there's different paths each time they use them. They never use the same path, so they're very cautious. They can smell people from a mile away. They can, like I said, they can. If they got a phone, they got anything, they can hear it. Cameras, any of that stuff. This is probably why people aren't finding them, because they're not prepared like this. I mean, a lot of your hunters will run into them because hunters prepare almost in the same way as what you need to do here, except they can smell the gunpowder and everything else. So when they do run into them, or you run into one, it's kind of on accident. Anyway, so she spent a little time back there. She come back. We had to go, and she basically just told me that this one Klansman that she spoke with, there was a Klanswoman, didn't communicate with her, very bashful, skittish, I would say. But he was big. She said somewhere over 7 foot, almost 8 foot tall, very stocky, stout, and probably between 300 and 400 years old. She said he's an elder, a young elder. She said that there's not a lot of elders, real elders, left. They've kind of disappeared throughout the centuries, so decades. Anyway, so I'm trying to see. I hear stuff back there. I hear noises. I hear crunches and stuff like that in the woods, but I couldn't see much of anything. So I was really kind of disappointed about that. I was happy that she allowed me to go there with them, and have this experience and stuff. So we're on our way out, and I don't know if Claire could pick up on my feelings of kind of disbelief, if I'm just being honest, and the whole thing. I mean, I want to, but I don't know. So she says, "You don't believe us, do you?" And I says, I don't know what to think about it all. I says, it's I want to believe in it. I mean, obviously, I'm not dismissing anything, but she says, turn around. By this point, we're all the way to we're entering the woods on the other side. So I look back to the other side of this opening, and I see just this massive shadow in there. I can't really make out what I'm looking at, as you can see. So my long distance vision isn't nearly as good as it used to be. But I see this massive outline in the shadows. And then it just kind of, almost within a blink, I see it kind of move, and it's gone. Just disappears into nothing. What I was looking at, I don't know. I can't declare, but I think I have a pretty good feeling of what I was seeing. She says he just wanted you to know. That was it. So we walked out of there. That was the information she gave me. She said that that one doesn't. They don't know when they'll be back, if they'll be back. They've moved on. Like I said, they follow that migration trail. They're not there now. They probably will be back, I would think, or passing through. So who knows? I would be awful careful. I wouldn't go out there hunting them, because you'll put yourself in a lot of danger. But anyway, she didn't get the sense that they were dangerous to people at all. So there's that. Just don't want people in there snooping around or poking around and causing problems or making a mess or whatever. Anyway, so our visit was actually fairly brief. I didn't have a lot of time. They didn't have a lot of time. They have to keep moving. So it was just an honor to finally meet them in person and have a conversation. I just want to say that Wendy's just an amazing woman, strong, smart, not a woman you want to mess with. She's phenomenal. She's tough as nails, great personality. Claire is everything you expect. 6'4", beautiful, amazing woman, very intelligent, just very happy and enthusiastic. Both of them, they just love life and love what they're doing. They did tell me that Tommy and Anna did get married. They're living off in Europe someplace, and I believe that's where, somewhere there is now where Wendy and Claire would be, because that's why I had to wait till they were done doing what they were doing, and they would be leaving the country. Now, cool update for you guys. Next, you're going to love this. So they are no longer investigating Klansmen. They're done with that. Okay, it's over. They know as much as they want to know. They know as much as they want to know. They're moving on to other cryptids. Because of this, they've decided that they want to find out what else is out there, what else is real. They want to go out and look for dogmen, mothman, these other cryptids, maybe who knows, vampires, I don't know. But they're going out. They said that they will keep in touch and let me know their findings. And so I'm really excited about that, looking forward to it. They said, just, if we can be real, they're real, then why not, right? So that's what they're going to be doing. They're starting out, well, they've probably done a little bit of that on their travels, but they're heading to Europe to start that investigation, and they will keep us posted on that. So I'm really looking forward to it. All right, so now finally, the last part is they did travel to Washington and they met up with Jane. This was a special mission and a special plan. They got together and they together went back out to visit Jane's forest family. I am not allowed to give you any detail on that right now. She asked that I keep the details to myself other than that until Jane. So Jane will be contacting us here soon to give us an update on what happened and how that all transpired and what they did, where they went, and how that worked out. So literally that's all she would give me is the fact that they were going there, they were meeting, and this was all set up now. I didn't even know how they met, how they found them. And Jane said, well, we have ways, so don't worry about it. I'm sure they do. Anyway, so that's it. That's what one of the other things I was doing this summer besides building a house, and I was very excited, and I couldn't wait to share that with you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. If I think of any other details I want to share with you, I will do that. Like I said, there's not a lot. I took notes, but I didn't bring my notes over here with me. Kind of know everything else, but that's it. All right. There's our update from Wendy and Claire. I think it's pretty amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you again really soon.